Carlos Alcaraz Garfia Spanish pronunciation. Carlos Alcaraz Garfia, born 5 May 2003, is a Spanish professional tennis player. He has been ranked as the world number 1 in men's singles by the Association of Tennis Professionals, ATP, including as the year-end number 1 in 2022. Alcaraz has won 20 ATP Tour-level singles titles, including 5 major titles and 7 ATP 1000 titles. Alcaraz began his professional career in 2018 at age 15. He broke into the top 100 in rankings in May 2021 and ended that year in the top 35 after reaching the US Open quarterfinals. In March 2022, he won his first ATP 1000 title at the Miami Open at the age of 18. Alcaraz won his first major title at the 2022 US Open, becoming the youngest man and the first male teenager in the Open era to top the singles rankings, at 19 years, 4 months, and 6 days old. Finishing the year as the youngest year-end number 1 in ATP ranking history, he was named the Laureus World Breakthrough of the Year for his performance in the season. In 2023, Alcaraz claimed his second major title at Wimbledon, defeating 7-time champion Novak Djokovic in an epic final. In 2024, he won his third and fourth major titles at the French Open and Wimbledon, followed by a silver medal at the Paris Olympics. He claimed a 5th major title at the French Open in 2025 in another classic final, overturning a 2-set deficit to top seed Jannik Sinner early. And personal life, Carlos Alcaraz Garfia was born on 5 May 2003 in El Palmar, Murcia, Spain. To parents: Carlos Alcaraz González and Virginia Garfia Escandón. Alcaraz has one older brother, Álvaro, and 2 younger brothers, Sergio and Jaime. Alcaraz started playing tennis at the age of 4 at the Real Sociedad Club de Campo de Murcia, where his father was a tennis coach and club administrator. His mother worked as a sales assistant at IKEA. Alcaraz's father had played tennis, but stopped as a teenager as he could not afford to continue. Alcaraz was discovered as an 11-year-old by Albert Molina, who convinced IMG to sign him and eventually introduced him to future coach Juan Carlos Ferrero. Alcaraz is frequently accompanied to tournaments by his father and by his brother Álvaro, who works as his hitting partner. During the tennis off-season, he splits his time between his parents' home in Murcia and his training center in nearby Villena. His friends and family call him Carlitos, or Charlie Professional Career, petasao in 2020. Pro debut in April 2019. At the age of 15, Alcaraz made his challenger debut at the JC Ferrero Challenger in Villena after receiving a wild card. He won his first match against a 17-year-old Jannik Sinner. With this victory, he became the first player born in 2003 to win a challenger match. He was defeated in 3 sets by 8th seed Łukasz Rosol in the second round. Alcaraz went on to win 4 challenger titles, 3 of them before the age of 18. He was the first player born in 2003 to reach a challenger title match. In February 2020, at the age of 16, Alcaraz made his ATP main draw debut at the Rio Open after receiving a wild card for the singles main draw. He defeated Albert Ramos Vignolas and became the first player born in 2003 to win an ATP Tour match. Alcaraz was defeated in the second round by Federico Coria 2021. ATP title, Next Gen Finals winner. At age 17, Alcaraz made it to the main draw of the Australian Open, making him the youngest participant in the men's singles. He won his Grand Slam tournament debut, defeating fellow qualifier Botic van de Zandschulp in straight sets before losing in the second round to Mikael Ymer. Alcaraz became the youngest match winner in the Madrid Open's history, defeating Adrian Manarino as a wild card and breaking then 18-year-old Rafael Nadal's record from 2004. In the second round, he lost to 5-time champion Nadal on Alcaraz's 18th birthday by winning the biggest title of his career until then. At the 2021 Open de Hueras III's Challenger Tournament, he entered the top 100 as the youngest player at the age of 18 on 24 May 2021. At the French Open, Alcaraz reached the third round of a major for the first time in his career by defeating Nicolas Basilashvili. In July 2021, Alcaraz reached his first ATP final at the 2021 Croatia Open Umag, defeating top seed Albert Ramos Vignolas. He then won his maiden ATP title by defeating Richard Gasquet and becoming the youngest tour-level champion since 18-year-old Kei Nishikori won the Delray Beach Open in 2008. Alcaraz was the youngest Spaniard to win an ATP Tour title since Nadal. Claimed his first trophy in Sopot in 2004. At Wimbledon, he lost in the second round to Daniil Medvedev. At the Winston-Salem Open, Alcaraz reached the round of 16 defeating qualifier Alexei Popyrin, and his second tour-level quarterfinal of the season defeating 4th seed Martin Fucsovics. He defeated Marcos Giron to reach the semi-finals, where he lost to Mikael Ymer. At the US Open, Alcaraz defeated world number 3 Stefanos Tsitsipas in a 5th set tiebreak to reach the 4th round in the biggest win of his career at that time. At 18 years of age, Alcaraz became the youngest man in a major 4th round since 17-year-old Andrei Medvedev at the 1992 French Open, and the youngest man in the US Open 4th round since 17-year-old Michael Chang and 18-year-old Pete Sampras. In 1989, he then reached the quarterfinals by defeating qualifier Peter Gojowczyk. Alcaraz became the youngest US Open men's quarterfinalist in the Open era, the youngest at the tournament since 18-year-old Thomas Koch in 1963, and the youngest Grand Slam tournament men's singles quarterfinalist since 18-year-old Michael Chang at the 1990 French Open. He then lost to Felix Auger-Aliassime via retirement in the second set in the quarterfinals after injuring his leg. At the Erste Bank Open, Alcaraz defeated world number 7 Matteo Berrettini, his second win over a top 10 player, and became the youngest player in the top 35 on 1st November. During his Paris Masters run, Alcaraz defeated French wildcard Pierre-Hugues Herbert in 3 thrilling sets in the first round. He then defeated Jannik Sinner in straight sets in the second round, his third win over a top 10 player. In the third round, he was defeated by Hugo Gaston in straight sets at the Next Gen ATP Finals. Alcaraz defeated Brandon Nakashima, Juan Manuel Cerundolo, and Holger Rune in the round-robin stage. He beat Sebastian Baez in the semi-final and Sebastian Korda in the final to win the title. 2022 US Champion, Teenage Number 1 Main Article, 2022. Carlos Alcaraz tennis season. Seeded for the first time in a major at number 31, Alcaraz reached the third round of the Australian Open before losing in 5 sets to Matteo Berrettini. Seeded 7th at the Rio Open, Alcaraz won his first ATP 500 title by defeating Diego Schwartzman in the final. He entered the top 20 in the singles rankings on 21st February 2022. In Indian Wells, Alcaraz reached his first ATP 1000 quarterfinal and semifinal, defeating defending champion Cameron Norrie before losing to Rafael Nadal. Seeded 14th at the Miami Open, Alcaraz defeated 6th seed Casper Ruud to win his first ATP 1000 title, the youngest men's champion in the tournament's history, and the third youngest ATP 1000 titleist in history. Alcaraz at the 2022 Monte Carlo Masters at the Monte Carlo Masters. Alcaraz lost in the second round to Sebastian Korda. At the Barcelona Open, Alcaraz defeated top seed Stefanos Tsitsipas in the quarterfinals to enter the top 10 in rankings for the first time on 25th April 2022. He became the 20th teen to break into top 10 overall since rankings were established in 1973, and the youngest since Rafael Nadal, also on 25th April 2005. Alcaraz would make his top 10 debut exactly 17 years after Nadal made his top 10 debut, which is also their difference in ages, meaning they both made their top 10 debuts shortly before. They each turned 19 years of age. Alcaraz later defeated Pablo Carreño Busta to win the title a day after his 19th birthday at the Madrid Open. He defeated 5-time Madrid champion, world number 4, and 3rd seed Rafael Nadal in the quarterfinals to become the first teenager to defeat him on clay. The following day, he beat the world number 1 and top seed Novak Djokovic in the semifinals for his 6th straight top 10 win, and became the youngest player to win a match against a world number 1 since 2004. He also became the only player to ever beat Djokovic and Nadal back-to-back on clay in the final. He won his 4th title for the season and 2nd ATP 1000 by defeating defending champion and world number 3. Alexander Zverev, thereby defeating the top 3 seeds in 3 consecutive matches. He also became the youngest champion in the tournament's history. As a result, he climbed to a career high of world number 6 in the rankings on 9th May 2022. Following his withdrawal from the Italian Open due to an ankle injury, Alcaraz made his seeded debut at the French Open as number 6. Having won 2 of the tour's biggest titles on clay coming into the Slam, he was widely projected to be one of the favorites for the title. He defeated Juan Ignacio Londero in straight sets before saving a match point in a second round 5-setter against Albert Ramos Vinolas. He then defeated Korda and Karen Khachanov in straight sets before losing to Zverev in the second major quarterfinal of his career.